All right, somebody's on. Hi, a couple people are on. Hello, welcome. Yeah, everything's good to go on my end this time instead of 2 weeks ago. I was such a kind of a cluster, but everything should be good to go. Welcome to Byrnes Tuesday Night Trivia, Digital Tuesday Night Trivia. Again, if you're signed into YouTube, you can do the chat there. I the Scorpio here. Perfect. Thank you, Julian. Oh, lost somebody. And you're already logged in, so you know what you're doing. Titanic Swim Club is in. Yes, welcome. Couple more people. So yeah, just kind of the waiting game now. Everybody get the Google Docs just fine. You got that all loaded up? Strange. All right, a few more people are in. There's up to 6 people watching. Got 2 teams here, either Scorpio and Titanic Swim Club. Any other teams on that are playing that haven't piped in? Again, if you want to make comments here on the live feed, you have to be logged into YouTube. Or if not, you can always just get a hold of me on Facebook if you would like. I can got my phone here, so I can send you a quick text, a quick message through Facebook Messenger if you do have any questions or comments, concerns, you want to heckle me, all the fun stuff. Eight people. There we go. What time is it? Still have about 15 minutes or so, 14, 15 minutes. But welcome, up to 11 people now watching. Look at that. Oh, lost a few people. All right. Thank you, Karen. And no, I'm hosting, so maybe I'll get into Togaware later on afterwards. Quiz in my pants. All right. Pallbearers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams as of right now. Looks like we got our regulars here so far today. And if people are wondering, if you're looking at the Facebook chat, Karen said, Toga, we decided last week we did a gala night. Team 42 did, so we got kind of dressed up just because we could. And we decided to do a toga night tonight. So I might join them after I get done hosting. But yeah, the whole Team 42, which maybe I'll have them post a fun photo on the event page of them and all their togas. A screenshot of their Zoom page they have going. All right, 5 teams are in. Oh, perfect. Perfect. That's what I'd like to see. Looking good, baby. Minus Paul. All right, 10 more minutes to go. Hope everybody has a drink in hand. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday so far. Hope everybody's doing okay, being all locked up, quarantined. I think some news came out from Maine anyway that the lockdowns, I think, continuing for at least 2 more weeks, the 18th of May or something like that, maybe longer. I don't know. For me, I think it's going to be kind of tough to get back into a normal routine and normal life after all this. It's been pretty relaxing. Although having money is also really nice. What do you need? Well, here, babe. How about this? Mimosa. Okay. Ugh. 2 beers, double fisting. All right, Mike. I like that. Actually, that's not a bad idea, Mike. Since I'm hosting, I might need to go grab another beer right away. Going through questions real quick. I'll be back. On what? I don't know. I haven't really played with that.
Yeah, you should show me the volume.
Figured it out.
Got it. I was like, I know I did with my volume. Okay, good.
I think I just heard over here in a little conversation in the other room. I think I heard think they said Massachusetts is the 18th, but here in Maine we're the 31st of May, still on lockdown. Hooray! And my wife and I, we were thinking that, we got to be saving money. You know, we go to Byrnes every week and we'd spend $50 or so. So there's $200 a month. She'd also go out with some of her girlfriends once a week for happy hour. That wasn't much, but it was about $20 to $25 a week. So there's no $100. We're like, we're saving $300 a month. And then I realized how much we're buying in alcohol here at home. I think they offset each other. So I don't know for us here anyway, what's if being quarantined has saved us money. Although I will say, when I think this is, I don't think everybody can say this. We might be in the very small percentage of people. We have not ordered out food once since the lockdown's gone into effect. We've actually cooked throughout the whole time. So we might have been able to save us a little money that way. But we haven't ordered anything out yet. Any of the restaurants around Portland. Give it just a couple more minutes and we're going to get moving. So use the restroom, get a drink, get a glass of wine, get a beer. We'll get going here in just a couple minutes. 16 viewers. Pretty good. And I think it's still just the 5 teams. All right, the Scorpio Titanic Swim Club. We got 42 in there. Quiz in My Pants and the Pallbearers, minus Paul. I don't know if Team 42 is the girls down south playing, Karen, or are they participating today, or are they not? All right. I got 6:58. Still just a couple minutes, so we'll probably get the first question right at 7. But everyone, welcome again to Byrnes Irish Pub Tuesday night trivia, digital style here with the coronavirus lockdown and everything. My name is Andy. I am part of Team 42 on a weekly basis. My wife is in the other room doing the Zoom chat with Team 42, and she gets the TV. I'm in the bedroom with the door shut on the computer with my questions here. But got some good questions, got some good categories. Of course, rules. It makes it more fun when you drink. So if you do have a drink, have a drink or two. If not, no big deal. Also, let's not cheat. It would be super easy to just cheat and get online and find answers to all these. So let's refrain from doing that. It is just we're here to have some fun, friendly competition. And you know some things and don't know some things, and that's kind of the fun of it because you do find out some new interesting facts every week. So please, let's keep the Googling down to 0 if you can. Will and I have been doing the hosting back and forth the past, this is my 3rd time. He's done it 3, so 6 weeks now we've been doing it. If anybody else would like to do it, please feel free to let us know. We can help you out with logistics or anything as far as doing the YouTube live feed, setting up the Google Docs page or anything like that. I think that's all from me. The Google Docs page is on the event page on Facebook. I think everybody's done it. It's the same way we've been doing it the past few weeks. It should be pretty self-explanatory. That's what we're doing so far. But I got 7 o'clock. I don't know if there's really anything else to talk about. Let's get this going. So Team I, the Scorpio, Titanic Swim Club, 42, Quiz in My Pants, and the Pallbearers. Welcome. And let's get going. For the questions, I will be repeating every question, so I will say it at least twice, sometimes 3 times. I'll try not to go too fast, but if you do need me to repeat questions, I will 100% do that. Or if you need a clarification question, you can type it in on the page. All right, we have another team in there. Team Cool also. All right, so that's 6 teams. That's perfect. I think I just got... Yeah, okay. So, Buckeye Empire's in. All right, there we go. Welcome, Buckeye Empire. Okay, so here we go. Tuesday Night Trivia, April 28th. First round, big weekend over the weekend in the sports world where we had the NFL draft. So this first round is about football, American football, not my preferred football or soccer. So here's question number 1. So the NFL draft just happened, the 2020 NFL draft. 2 points for this first one. Who was the number 1 draft pick and what team did he go to? 2020 NFL draft, who was the number 1 draft pick and what team did he go to? Question number 1. All right. There's kind of some recent news, so hopefully people are able to get that right away. Number 2. Moving on to number 2. Now, also some big news over the past couple weeks was Tom Brady did just, transfer down to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So going back to the year 2000, when Tom Brady was drafted, you got 2 points possible here. It's going to be kind of tough, but in what round did Tom Brady get drafted? And for a second point, if you can tell me his overall draft number. So what number was he drafted? He wasn't the first, I'll give you that much. He wasn't the first pick, but where was he down the line in the drafts? So a round consists of every team getting 1 pick, and then the next round, teams get their second pick and their third pick. So in what round was Tom Brady drafted in the year 2000 for 1 point? And if you can tell me the overall draft number, I'll give you a second point. So real quick on that one again. For number 2, what round was Tom Brady drafted in the year 2000? That's 1 point. And for a second point, if you can give me his draft pick number, what number was he actually picked overall? So moving on to question number 3. Question number 3, round 1 of football. How many teams are there in the NFL? How many teams are there in the NFL? Okay, I think that was an easy one. And I'll give you at least a minute and a half on this next one, because you might have to jot some things down or really hash it out. So for question number 4, you have a chance to earn 2 points. So for 2 points, how many teams in the NFL are animals? Their mascots are animals. All right? So how many teams in the NFL mascots are animals? So 2 points if you get it spot on. I'll give you 1 point if you're within 1. Okay, so if you're off by 1 either side, I'll still give you a point. But if you can tell me exactly spot on how many there are, I'll give you 2 points. So for number 4, how many teams in the NFL, their team name are animals? I knew Willie was going to say that. Humans do not count as animals. Humans do not count as animals. I'll even make it easier. Mythical creatures also are not animals. So I'll give you guys about another minute with that one. It might take you a few. If you really want a hint, the number you came up with the question prior, it's less than that. I hope that helps. All right, here we go. Question number 5. Question number 5. Also a 2-point possible question here. A 2 points possible here. So question number 5. What NFL team has the northernmost home location, or who is the most northern team based on where their stadium is, and which team is the southernmost? So which NFL team has a stadium that is the most north, and what NFL team has a stadium, home stadium, that is most south in the United States? So most northernmost the home location and southernmost home location. So 2 points possible. All right, moving on to question number 6. Question number 6. At this time, how many regular season games are there in the NFL? At this time, how many regular season games are there in the NFL? Now, there has been talk of making this number higher. I know the owners want to have more games, but because of the coronavirus, I've also heard that potentially it could be shortened this next year. But at this point, how many regular season games are there in the NFL? So number 6 again, how many regular season games are there in the NFL? Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yeah. So every team, thank you for the clarification question, not total amount of games throughout the year. No, it's how many games each team will play in a season. Now, how many regular season games are there for an NFL team? Thank you for that. That's how I should have worded it. All right. So any repeats for anybody out of our 6 teams? Team Cool, 42, Pallbearers, Quiz My Pants, Titanic. Any repeats from anybody? It says I'm unable to connect to chat. Why am I not able to connect to chat? Strange. Anybody, can someone type something real quick, see if it comes through on my end? I guess I wouldn't know. It says unable. I just want to verify this. Okay. All right, moving on to round 2. Moving on to round number 2. I can also go back and repeat any questions you may have at the end of round 3 if you need. I'll kind of maybe play around with this live chat thing and see if it's will reconnect. But anyway, round 2. Around the Kitchen is the name of it. As I mentioned, the wife and I, we've been doing a lot of cooking. So I thought, hey, why not come up with fun questions that would deal with cooking and being around the kitchen. So that's category number 2. So I'm basically going to give you a definition of something to do with cooking or being in the kitchen, and then you just got to give me the answer. So question number 1. Question number 1 around the kitchen. To drizzle a flammable spirit over a food while it's cooking to ignite just before serving. What is that? To drizzle a flammable spirit over a food while it's cooking to ignite just before serving. What is that? Okay, let's see if I think the chat is working again. It worked in the pop-out version. I guess I'm going to have to just do that. Cool. Okay. Mike wants the answer for number 1. Sorry. All right. Got the chat back up and going. Number 2. I think we're ready for... I get my clock back up. I like that little timer. So question number 2 for Around the Kitchen. Around the Kitchen number 2. To moisten food while cooking by spooning, brushing, or squirting a liquid, such as meat drippings, to stock, to add flavor and prevent it from drying out. So once again, number 2, to moisten food while cooking by spooning, brushing, or squirting a liquid, such as meat droppings, to stock, to add flavor and prevent it from drying out. That's number 2. All right, moving on to question number 3. Question number 3, around the kitchen. To soak a dry ingredient in a liquid just under the boiling point to extract the flavor. What is that? This is to soak a dry ingredient in a liquid just under the boiling point to extract the flavor. What is that? The drink specialist here on 126 Eastern Promenade in Portland is Corona, proud sponsor of this shitty situation. All right, number 4. Question number 4, around the kitchen. This is to mash or grind food until completely smooth. To mash or grind food until completely smooth. To mash or grind food until completely smooth. All right, moving on to number 5, question 5, around the kitchen. This is when meat is cooked in its own fat at a low heat, or other fat if necessary. This is when meat is cooked in its own fat at a low heat, or other fat if necessary. Once again, number 5, meat is cooked in its own fat at a low heat. And number 6, last one here for around the kitchen. When cutting vegetables, what is it called when you cut them in long, thin strips, approximately 1/4 inch thick and 1 inch long? Once again, cutting vegetables into long, thin strips, approximately 1/4 inch in thickness and 1 inch long. Cutting vegetables into long, thin strips, approximately 1/4 inch thick and 1 inch long. That's all 6 for round 2. Does anybody need any repeated? For around the kitchen, any repeats for anybody? All right, we have a repeat for 3 and 5. So number 3 was to soak, number 3 for around the kitchen, to soak a dry ingredient in a liquid just under the boiling point to extract the flavor. And number 5 for a couple teams, question 5, this is when meat is cooked in its own fat at a low heat. And if you need to use another fat, I guess it's necessary. I'm not that good of a chef. But usually when meat is cooked in its own fat, what is that called? And that was question 5. All right, and I can always come back to another one in that round if you need at the end of round 3. So if you do need to go back to hear one again, I can do that for you. And yes, we will be taking a short little intermission at the end of round 3 so I can do the scores and get all that figured out. So we'll have a good 10 to 15 minute break, 12, 13 minute break in there for you to top off your beverages or use the restroom, have your smoke break, do whatever you need to do. So here we go. Round 3. Round number 3. This one is current events. There's a lot of stuff going on, so I figured just do a category and some fun, interesting, and just things that are happening. So, current events, round number 3. Question number 1. A shooting rampage happened outside of what Canadian city that led to at least 16 deaths this past week? Question number 1, current events. A shooting rampage happened outside of what Canadian city that led to at least 16 deaths this past week? Question number 1. All right, moving on to question number 2. Question number 2. Starting back on April 17th, Governor Andrew Cuomo is requiring all New York citizens to do what? Starting back on April 17th, Governor Andrew Cuomo is requiring all New York citizens to do what? Question number 2. Question number 3. Question number 3 in current events. Yesterday, April 27th, the U.S. Department of Defense officially released 3 videos showing what? Yesterday, the U.S. Department of Defense officially released 3 videos showing what? Department of Navy. Okay, thank you, Mike, for the more specificity there. Number 4. I think a lot of people might have got that one right off the bat. Number 4. Everybody's at home. A lot of people are off of work, so a lot of celebrities and musicians got together and put on One World Together at Home. But this was curated in part by which famous musician? So One World Together at Home TV special was curated in part by which famous musician? So Angel was the biggest contributor to it. All right, moving on to number 5. Question number 5. This world leader was considered to be in grave danger after a surgical procedure. Once again, number 5, this world leader was considered to be in grave danger after a surgical procedure. Who was that? And last one here for round number 3, current events. Question number 6. What company went to Twitter this past week to say, under no circumstance should our product be administered into the human body? What company went to Twitter this past week to say, under no circumstance should our product be administered into the human body? So looking for the name of a company. Not necessarily a product, but what company. So at this time, if anybody needs any repeats from this category, from current events, or from around the kitchen, or from NFL or football, technically it's NFL also, please let me know. I'll give you guys about 2 or 3 minutes here to give me a shout out for anything that you might need to be repeated. Otherwise, you can go ahead and submit your answers. Got 2 responses coming in. I think I said I have 6 teams, 2 responses. Anybody need any repeats? Going once, going twice. Anybody? Three responses. And for 3 more. Still at 3 responses. 3 more teams. Need to bring them in. Oh, let's see. Animal team 1. That was question number 4 in round number 1. That's for team 42. So how many teams in the NFL have mascots that are animals? So no, humans don't count as animals. Yes, technically speaking. So how many teams in the NFL are animals as their mascots? 5 responses. I need 1 more. I'm pretty sure that's team 42. Let's hurry up. Still waiting, team 42. Sending. Six responses. All right. So creating that. All right. So everybody's answers are in. So here we go. Let's go over some. Answers for these first three rounds, and we'll take a quick little break while I go over the scores and all that good stuff. So, starting round number one for football. Who was the number one draft pick here in the year 2020 for the NFL? His name was Joe Burrows, and he went to the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals. Number two, Tom Brady was not the number one pick in the year 2000. So for 2 points possible. He went in the 6th round, and he was in 199th overall pick. All right, so 2 points possible there. If you got 6th round, you'll get 1 point. If you got 199, you'll get another point. Number three, how many teams are there in the NFL? There are 32 teams. Number four, how many teams are there that have animal names? There are 15 of the animals, 15 animals. If you want, I could read them off, or if you want me to later, I can do that. But 15. So if you had 15, you'll get 2 points. If you put 14 or 16, I will give you 1 point for being pretty close. So 2 points possible on that one. Number five, the northernmost home location, that is Seattle. So the Seattle Seahawks, 1 point. And the southernmost is Miami Dolphins. Number six, how many regular season games are there for an NFL team? It is 16 games. Regular season at this point. The owners want to bump it up to 17, although there is proposed talk next season because of everything going on. They might actually drop it to 14. So, but as of right now, the answer is 16. All right, around the kitchen, round number two. To drizzle a flammable spirit over food while it's cooking and to ignite just before serving, that's a flambe. Flambe. Number two, to moisten food while cooking by spooning, brushing, or squirting a liquid, such as meat droppings. To add flavor and to prevent it from drying out, that is to baste. To baste. Number three, to soak a dry ingredient in a liquid just under boiling to extract flavor, that is to steep. Like you steep a tea bag. Good example. Number four, to mash or grind food until completely smooth, that is a puree. Puree. Number five, meat that is cooked in its own fat at a very low heat or a low heat, it's a confit. Confit. I guess confit is probably the correct way to pronounce it. Number six, when cutting vegetables into long, thin strips, approximately 1/4 inch thick and 1 inch long, that is a julienne cut. Julienne cut. And moving on to current events. Number one, a shooting rampage happened outside of what Canadian city that led to at least 16 deaths this past week? Halifax. So he ended up traveling multiple miles throughout this, started at a gas station and ended up driving. It was hours later by the time they got the individual, but 16 people, not counting a shooter, were killed. But yeah, Halifax is the town I was looking for. Number two, starting back on April 17th, Governor Andrew Cuomo requiring all New York citizens to do what? That is wear a face covering or face mask in public at all times. So take anything of that nature. Number three, yesterday the U.S. Department of Defense officially released 3 videos showing UFOs or unidentified objects. So I guess they do exist. Number four, One World Together at Home was curated by Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Number five, what world leader was considered to be in grave danger after a surgical procedure? It is Kim Jong-un, so North Korean leader. And number 6, what company had to go to Twitter this past week to say under no circumstance should a product be administered into the human body? That was Lysol. Lysol had to go to Twitter. I never think so. So I do have one team for my cooking. So please feel free to take a break. Obviously, I got to do some calculations, make sure to check the scores, and I'll get back to you on how everyone is sitting. And we'll get the next 3. Thank you for clarifying that. I'll let you know who's sitting where, and then the next 3 categories we'll get to in a short break. So I got 7:36, so let's plan on 7:45. We'll get the next round going. Yes.
For the question with
Yeah, type it to me.
It's still won't happen. It's like with how many games.
The total games, I got that.
Yeah, but it says
I clarified that.
we didn't hear it.
Well, somebody else definitely said, Karen, that question was specifically asked.
Because if you divided it,
No, I know, but
16.
go sit. All right, so the Scorpio did ask me a question about the difference because confit and braising. I did say that it usually uses its own fat, which is a confit, where braising is usually often a wine or a stock. So it's not necessarily, braising doesn't have to do it, but if it's cooked in its own fat, it is confit. So I'm going to stick hard on that one. But thank you. I do appreciate the asking for that, as I do like to make sure I'm kept honest. But yeah, they're both cooked at a low temperature and for a long time. So that's very similar to that. And they both use a liquid to help it stay from drying out. But yeah, that's the big difference. All right, let me get some scoring done. We'll be back here in a bit. Oh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams. Man in the White Castle is here. Sorry about that. Didn't see you guys pipe up. Everybody got flambe. Everybody got based. Ooh. Puree everybody got. Confit got most half the teams. Julian cut. Everybody got that one. Nicely done. Oof. All right. Ooh. Yeah, no, it's 7:45, everybody, but I'm just getting the last two tallied up here. Give me just another couple minutes. Nice tight race at the top. It's going to be up to anybody's here. Second. All right, here we go. Welcome back, everybody. I'm actually going to go grab another couple beers here. But before I do that, I will read off the scores as of right now. So here we go. Pallbearers and Quiz My Pants, you guys are bringing up the rear with 12 apiece. After that, 16 with White Castle, Man in White Castle. Next at 17, two teams, Team Cool and Team 42. I the Scorpio at 18 and Titanic Swim Club at 19. So a lot of people are up there, and some more up for grabs here in another 3 rounds. So we're moving on here in the next 3 rounds. Open up that other document. Open up the other document. So you have those 3 categories up to do that. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab a couple more beers.
Look at Ron. Being so fluffy.
And the door's open. All right. Let me finish this real quick. All right, so welcome back, everybody. Hope you topped off your drinks, used the restroom, and ready for another 3 rounds. The recent winners, 42, they're sitting in 3rd place, tied for 3rd. So they have a little ground to make up here. So here we go, moving on to round number. Crushing them beers, Bob. Yeah, Jillian, I'll check yours here at the end of this round, and I'll let you know. All right, here we go. Famous quotes, round number 4. First one. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Question number 1. All right, moving on. Number 2. Question number 2. A little long one here. Famous quotes. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. Question number 2. For famous quotes. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbors, catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, and discover. Hear me or see me? I'm hearing that people might have some issues. Buffering, didn't catch it either. All right, what's my... Internet looks good. Good. All right. How's funny? Everybody hear me better now? I'll reread those again if you need. So I'll start with number 1 again for famous quotes. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. That's question 1. In question 2, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbors, Catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. Yes, who said it? So that's a famous quote. Tell me who is the owner of that quote. And I just recounted a couple times. I think I'm still at 18. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18. All right, moving on here, question number 3. Question number 3 in famous quotes. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Number 3, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. All right, for this one, I have a little bit of background or backstory to it. Not much. The quote's really small or short, but here it is. Question number 4 for famous quotes. This prominent world leader once said, "Dead birds don't fly from the nest," when someone brought to his attention that his fly was down. Once again, this prominent world leader once said, "Dead birds don't fly from the nest," when someone brought to his attention that his fly was down. Yeah, I thought that was too. I actually was using that. For those that don't know, I was a cruise director for a cruise line, and I hosted trivia as part of my duties on board. And that was actually a question I would ask my cruise guest. Usually got a pretty good laugh out of that one. All right, number 5. Famous quote number 5. Imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. Number 5 again. Imperfection is beauty, madness is genius. It is better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. Number 5. All right, moving on to question number 6. Question number 6. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Number 6 for category 4, famous quotes. So who said, you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough? So let me know if you guys need anything repeated there for round 4, category 4, and famous quotes. I can do that. Question number 4 for famous quotes. Question number 4. This prominent world leader once said, "Dead birds don't fly from the nest," when someone brought to his attention that his fly was down. Dead birds don't fly from the nest. Anybody else? Give you another minute or so. And number 6. Number 6. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. All right. Moving on to category 5. I can go back and repeat anything in round 4 at the end of round 6, so I can also get you there. But here we go, round number 5. Now, I don't know if anybody saw the very, very top of the chat on here. Karen wished me happy birthday. My birthday was yesterday. I'm 34 years old now. So I have a whole category on birthdays and different things about that. So, no, they're not all about me. A little bit, but not much. I know I'm old now. Thanks, Karen. So here you go for birthday, round number 5, birthday. Number 1. So I was born in 1986. What was the number 1 song on April 27th in 1986, which was by Robert Palmer? So what was the number 1 song on April 27th, 1986 by Robert Palmer? Pretty big hit. All right, song. Moving on from songs. Going to literature, number 2. Question number 2 for birthday. So on my birthday again, April 27th. Well, not April 27th. It's for the whole year of 1986. What was the number 1 book? It was a horror book written by a native Maena. So number 2, this horror book was the number 1 book for the year of 1986 and was written by a native Maena. I'm not looking for the author, I'm looking for the title of the book. So this horror book was the number 1 book in the year 1986 and was written by a native Maena. Slow down. Sorry, yep. I can definitely slow things down a bit. All right. So number 3, question number 3. So end of April, April 27th was my birthday yesterday. What is my astrological sign? So if you were born, well, today, yesterday, tomorrow, what would your astrological sign be? So question number 3 again. Right now, if you're born today or like me yesterday, what would your astrological sign be? All right, this is might be a little tough. I think if you hash it out with your team and talk it out, you might be able to narrow it down quite a bit. What month of the calendar year has the most birthdays? So, what month are more people born in than all the others? So once again, what month of the calendar year has the most birthdays? I'll give you a hint. It's not April. Okay, so that you got it down to 1 in 11 chance. So question number 4, what month has the most birthdays? Or in what month are more kids born, well, birthdays born, than all the others? All right, moving on to question number 5. Now, for whoever's in charge of the answer key for you, you'll notice that this is a true or false question. So number 5 is true or false. Happy Birthday was the first song sung in space. True or false? Once again, Happy Birthday was the first song sung in space. True or false? That's number 5. True or false? Happy Birthday was the first song sung in space. True or false? All right, here we go. Question number 6 for birthday category. Question number 6 for round 5, birthday. Question number 6. Painter, Raphael, William Shakespeare, and gangster Machine Gun Kelly all share something that has to do with their birthdays. What is it? Once again, painter Raphael, William Shakespeare, and gangster Machine Gun Kelly all share something that has to do with their birthdays. What is it? Question number 6. Once again, if you need any question repeated, please let me know. Number 2 for birthdays, for repeat here. This horror book was number 1 in the year of 1986 and was written by a native Mainer. So I'm looking for the title of that book. Any others? Repeats. And number 6 for birthdays. Painter Raphael, William Shakespeare, and gangster Machine Gun Kelly all share something that has to do with their birthday. What is it? All right, so I can do a repeat if anybody needs in that category at the end of round 6, but we're moving on to the next round. And as I've done the past couple weeks, I am doing another one of my 1 to 6. So the answers are going to be the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And once you use that number, you can't use it again. So if the first question, the answer is 1, you can no longer use the number 1 for any of the answers. So now you know the next questions are 2 through 6. Okay? So this is round 6 is 1 to 6, but it's music edition. So it's all going to be music related. So once again, your answers are going to be the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 for these. No, I didn't, Mike, but I probably should have. I deliberately put this at the end so alcohol becomes a determining factor. Good question. But so yeah, all music based questions, but still number based 1 through 6. Here we go. Round 6 category 1 to 6 music edition. So question number 1, the Foo Fighters. Their first album was recorded by this many members in their band. The Foo Fighters' first album was recorded with this many members of their band. All right, moving on to question number 2 in category 6, 1 to 6. So this is how many studio albums, not compilations or holiday junk that they put out. So how many studio albums were made by Destiny's Child before Beyonce went her own way? So this is how many studio albums, again, not compilations or Christmas crap. So how many studio albums were made by Destiny's Child before Beyonce went on her own way? So I think everybody's played before and knows the concept of this category. So whatever you put down for number 1 and number 2, those numbers cannot be used again. Moving on to number 3. Question number 3. In Excess started with this many members in their band. In Excess started with this many members in their band. And fun fact, I did read while researching this, the lead for the band really wanted to maintain the same number throughout their whole career. So even though some people kind of came and went, the lead really wanted to make sure this was the number they kept throughout the majority of their the career of In Excess. And yes, that's the letters INXS. It's kind of fun when you're a host. Did you start diving into researching fun facts and different categories, and sometimes you fall into a rabbit hole of looking up just something really unique, but it's kind of fun to look this one up, like this whole category. All right. Question number 4. Question number 4. Eric Clapton has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this many times. Eric Clapton has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this many times. Moving on to question number 5. Question number 5 in categories 1 to 6, Music Edition. The Eagles had this many number 1 singles. The Eagles had this many number 1 singles. So that's question number 5. The Eagles had this many number 1 singles. All right, moving on here. Final question of the evening. Thank you all for joining us. I believe Will's going to be hosting next week. It's kind of what the routine has been. But again, please feel free to jump on and feel free to host if you feel like it. I know a lot of you host at Byrnes. Nothing's different, really. It's a little weird just talking to your screen because you can't really gauge the audience around you and everything, but it's still a lot of fun to still look up questions and come up with them, and it's still fun to host. So if you do want to do it, please let Will or myself know. Again, we can help you out. But thanks for playing. And again, if you need anything repeated here, these last 3 rounds, please let me know. Here's question number 6. In round number 6. In 1984, Bruce Springsteen's hit Dancing in the Dark got up to this spot on the Billboard's Hot 100 list. In 1984, Bruce Springsteen's hit Dancing in the Dark got all the way up to this spot in the Billboard's Hot 100 list. All right. Well, welcome. Thank you again, everyone. Any repeats? Anything repeated? Question, category 3, question 5. Wait. Question 3 and 5. Sorry, that's in the music round. Is that correct, Jillian? I'm assuming that's round 6. Okay, so round the 1. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so in excess, and that's spelled INXS, in excess. Number three. So number three, in excess started with this many members in their band. That was question 3. Now moving on to 6. Number 5. Sorry, 5 in round 6. The Eagles had this many number 1 singles. The Eagles had this many number 1 singles, and that's number 5. Question 4 was Eric Clapton has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this many times. Anybody else? Anybody else? Well, if you are ready and you feel happy with everything, go ahead and submit it. One team is in, that's good. One team is in. Anybody else? Repeats? Three teams are in. All right, almost there. Should be a little easy to grade this one. The first 3 categories, there was a few double point questions there, so that kind of took a bit of time. Five responses. Wait, was there 6 teams or 5 teams? There's 6 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 7 teams. 7 teams. Let me. Copy that. Still missing 2 teams. Still missing 2 teams. $42 and who else am I missing? Titanic still? Team 42 still needs to respond. Oh, and Paul Bearers too, I believe. Paul Bearers and 42. 6 is in. 42's in. Paul Bearers. Paul Bearers are in. All right. Create this new spreadsheet. All right, there it is. All right, let's get some answers, shall we, everybody? All right. So going back up to famous quotes. So here we go, famous quotes. Let's get some answers. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. That was by Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss. Number 2, kind of a long one. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed in the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowline, sail away from safe harbors, catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. That was Mark Twain. Number 3, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. That was Mahatma Gandhi. Number 4, when a prominent world leader once said, dead birds don't fly from their nest, when someone brought to his attention that his fly was down, well, that was a cigar-smoking, liquor-drinking Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill. You can see him saying that. Number 5, imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. That was Marilyn Monroe. Number 6, you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. That was Mae West. Moving on to category 5, birthday. So the number 1 song on the day I was born in 1986 by Robert Palmer was Addicted to Love. Might as well. Anyway, that song is going to be stuck in your head now. Guarantee it. And Quiz My Pants, you're welcome for this. Just hand me over to you. As we know, somebody is a big Stephen King fan. So number 2, this horror book was number 1 in the year of 1986. It's written by a native Mainer, Stephen King. That was It. The book was It. Scary clown. Taking kids in the sewers. Anyway, number 3. What is my astrological sign? So if you're born today or yesterday, what is your sign? You are Taurus. Question number 4. What month has the most birthdays? I did give you a hint. It's not April. It is September. September. I did look into that. It's because it's around the holidays. That late November, early December would put you in September. And the website I was looking at that got me that little fun fact, they actually narrowed it down to between like the 6th to the 16th or 9th to the 16th of September is like the time when the most birthdays happen. Number 5, true or false? Happy Birthday was the first song sung in space. A lot of S's there. That is true. That is true. Happy Birthday was the first song sung in space. And number 6, Painter Raphael, William Shakespeare, and gangster Machine Gun Kelly all shared what that has to do with their birthdays? They all died on their individual birthdays. So, fun fact. I think Shakespeare's was the 21st of April, I think, also. Not too long ago. Number 1 in round 6. So this is 1 to 6 music edition. Question 1. The Foo Fighters' first album was recorded by this many band members. It was recorded fully, every instrument and vocals by David Grohl. So former member of Nirvana. He did the whole album on his own, every instrument. Then he realized it is going to suck to tour by himself. So he got more band members and took off with the band after recording the album. So the answer is 1 for that first question. Number 2, how many studio albums, not compilations, were made by Destiny Child before Beyonce went her own way? They had 4. They had 4 studio albums. Number 3, In Excess started with this many members in the band. They had 6 members in their band, 6 members. Number 4, Eric Clapton was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this many times. And actually, he's the only individual to be inducted this many times, 3 times. He was inducted with the Yardbirds, with Cream, and as a solo artist. So no other individual has been inducted 3 times, so he kind of stands on his own in that sense. Number 5, the Eagles had this many number 1 singles. That is 5. And Bruce Springsteen, fun fact, he never had a number 1 hit on the Billboard's Hot 100 list, but Dance in the Dark did get to number 2 in 1984. So the answers were 1, 4, 6, 3, 5, and 2. So that's all of them. Hang tight. Let me do some quick. This should go a little quicker than last round. But I'll be right back. If you want, go fill up another drink. I'll get you the winners of these wicked fancy prizes of a high five from me when we get back to Byrnes for the first time. Hold tight. Oh, everybody got Gandhi. Good job. We put Bill Clinton from Dead Birds Don't Fly from the Nest. Don't think his bird was quite dead. Ooh, a lot of people got the Addicted to Love. Good job. Wait, really? You didn't get it, Miss Stephen King lover? You didn't get Pet Cemetery. Come on. Everybody got Taurus. Good job. Oh, a couple teams got They Died on their birthday. Nicely done. All right. Quiz in my pants. Gonna be a close one. So right now we do have a tie at first place. I have two more teams to grade. All right, scores are in. Scores are in. Machine Gun Kelly is not dead. I think he is. So, thank you again, everyone. We do have a tie. I got to come up with a quick tie break. I do have some. So, coming in, bringing up the rear. Somebody has to. Thank you so much. Paul Bearers with 17, followed by Quiz in My Pants at 21. Then Team Cool at 26. 28 is Titanic Swim Club. Followed by Titanic 28. 30 is Team 42, and tied at first, I the Scorpio and Man in White Castle at 31. So, I do have some tiebreak questions here. One second, let me find some fun. So, for those, I the Scorpio and Man in White Castle, I think you could probably, I want to say, I think Jillian, you have me on Facebook. If you could send me a quick message on Messenger, you can send me. Now is my time to shine. I love it, Man in White Castle. Yeah. So, Man in White Castle. I don't know who you are. That's fine, but you could quick friend me on Facebook. That'd work fine. Or I think you could just send me a message, or you can just wait, and Jillian can send me a message on Facebook, and I can say when it's in, and then and then once she, okay, you don't have to be my friend. Once Jillian sends me her answer via Facebook message, I'll tell you when she's made her comment, and then you can then write it just on the YouTube live feed. And then that way I'll be able to know it's pretty fair. Or it's fair enough. This is a number-based question. Closest wins, by the way. Can go above, can go below. Just closest will win. Okay, I like this one. This one's a good one. So number-based question for either Scorpio and Man in White Castle. Number-based, how many muscles are there in the average human body? How many muscles are there in the average human body? I will give you a hint. It's a 3-digit number. So once again, how many muscles are there in the average human body? So once Jillian sends me a little quick message on Facebook, I'll let you know, Man in White Castle. But I hope you all had a good time. Plan on same time, same place, right in your own homes on YouTube and with some Google Docs for a little trivia next week. Once again, I'm pretty sure Will's up for it. Haven't confirmed. But again, please, if you've hosted before, don't be shy. You can host again on here. Same work you've done before. But let us know. So once again, how many muscles are there in the average human body? Closest wins. You can go above, you can go below. All right, I'll give you about 30 more seconds. It looks like that 42 has kind of dominated the past few weeks, but they've been dethroned. All right. Jillian has responded. All right. Jillian has responded. Are you going to go with that number, Man in White Castle? Give me a quick confirmation, yes or no. What you use for 100% beef sliders? Yeah, I bet you they're 100% beef. Just not the muscles, probably the leftovers. All right. Well, we do have two numbers, so I'll go with that. And one team is awfully, awfully close, only off by 10. So, Man in a White Castle said 800. Iron Scorpio put 650. On average, there are 640 muscles in the human body. So congratulations to either Scorpio. You are the winners of this week's trivia. So thank you so much. I hope you had a good time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Study up for next week. And I'll be looking forward to competing as a contestant next week. Thank you all. Be safe. Wash your hands, and wash your hands. Good night.